Hey guys, I reinstalled the weight covers here, this accordion type, and also the original weight cover for the Y-axis I installed, and it looks like for now it's going to work. If I go all the way out, it's kind of tight, but it reaches. And then if I go all the way back, it seems to not bind up. See if I can get a shot there. It doesn't interfere with my home switch. And it doesn't want to break off my fitting. So I'm pretty happy with that. Now, one issue that I'm not too crazy about is, as you can see with it all the way back, I have issues with my vise. If I turn my vise this way, then you can see it's clearly going to hit. Now, for now I want to use this, so what I decided to do is I'll just turn my vise right now, and then I'll worry about this later. It'll actually clear the dovetail without the accordion here, so if I come up with some other kind of weight cover, I think I can make it work. But for right now, I'm just going to go this route. I'll turn my vise sideways, center it up like so, and go that route. It's not going to be a big deal. I'll have plenty of clearance there, and I'll be able to do my machining. This will allow me to move back and forth. So I think this will be good for now. Well, I've mounted the vise back on the Precision Matthews, and a couple of problems that I ran into with the vise, and so I thought I would just kind of share that with you. First of all, the weight cover for the Z-axis is too low in the stock configuration, and so when the vise goes back, it hits up against it. Well, let me show you here. You can see that I'm not quite all the way back. My limit switch, I actually had to move my bracket forward a little bit to give me some clearance. Otherwise, it would hit here. The flange of the vise actually goes up and touches the neoprene, and also the weight cover wouldn't allow the vise to go far enough back, as you can see. I've reconfigured that. With the help of a gentleman who is following along on my build, and actually it seems to be about almost as far along as I am on the build, but he told me about this, and let me show you what we got. The Precision Matthews stock has this little bracket right here that mounts where you see these two holes. These two bolts right here. This bracket actually mounts there like so. And I think it serves as two purposes. One, it's a stop for when the Z-axis comes down. It's actually like a stop. And also, because of the shape of it, it keeps the weight cover intact. Well, then this L bracket here mounts behind these two holes and the neoprene. So this is actually, what, 2 inches lower, and so the vise actually hits it. So I got to talking with Wyatt, emailing back and forth, and I noticed he showed me a video of his machine milling out a pocket. And I noticed that his vise looked like it cleared, and I said, "Hey, what'd you do?" You know, and he said he just took this bracket off, raised this up, and remounted it, and it gives you just enough clearance for the vise to go under there. As you can see, it clears, and you don't really lose any of your Z-axis travel. Now, this situation I ran into actually in the stock configuration without it CNC'd, and also, of course, with it CNC'd. Now, originally I was going to just keep this accordion and turn the vise sideways. I know that the dovetails only come down to about right here on the Z-axis, but I didn't even think to move this bracket up. So Wyatt, I appreciate that. I'm going to call this the Wyatt mod. But this will work for just your stock Precision Matthews 727 owners, because if I'm not mistaken, I still had an issue with this vise going up against the weight cover. So you can just raise this up. It doesn't affect the Z-axis travel at all. I can still get the Z-axis to go all the way down. You can see I'm well below the vise there, and even if I have just a tool holder in here, the tool is going to be probably down to there, and I still have room to travel here. I'm not quite all the way down. I've got my Z down set at 14 inches, and you can see that it's about a 1/4 inch up from the table. So the actual spindle is about at the height of the vise. So I don't think I'll actually do much machining down that far anyways, and works good. You can use the stock accordion. Now, because I moved my bracket up a little bit, I did lose overall about a 1/2 inch of travel, which is okay because I wanted all this to clear. And so I'm down to 10 inches of travel in the Y instead of the 10.5. But you can see it's about a 1/2 inch from the flange here, and this distance right here is about, oh, 1 5/8 inches, I'd say. About 1 5/8 inches. And so that's up against my home switch there. And let's see. We got our DRO zeroed. Let's move it. All the way back. Alright, about 10 inches. So, the original neoprene is a little tight, but I think it'll work. And I just need to get something for the front side. And I'm thinking, I'm going to wait till I get the enclosure. I'm not sure exactly what kind of situation I'm going to have. I may end up using a piece of sheet metal to go on like so. Or I bought some neoprene, so I may just put a neoprene cover there. As long as it doesn't bunch up too bad, I think it'll be fine. But I'm definitely going to have to get something to cover all this. I don't want any shavings getting down in, or debris getting down in there, so. So just remove this little bracket right here, raise up your accordion and remount it in the same position, same bolt holes, and leave the neoprene down at the bottom one, and it'll give you clearance for your vise there. This vise sticks up about 3.5 inches, so I'd say that gives you about 3.5 inches. If you have a different type vise, you can check and see if that's going to work for you. You can actually go up, you can actually raise this up about another 1/2 inch before it actually hits the dovetail if you need to, but you'd have to remount. You'd have to drill a couple of different holes here to remount this or make another bracket. Alright guys, appreciate you watching the videos. If you have any suggestions or questions or any tips to help improve the precision math use, feel free to let me know. I'll share them in my videos. Wyatt, thanks for the modification here. I think it really solved a big issue I was having. I didn't want to have to turn the vise, because who knows, I may add another vise, or actually you could get 3 vices on here. There's enough room, and it would really take away from it if I had to turn them. So really appreciate that. Thumbs up if you liked the video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and most importantly, be safe.